What is good, party people? Episode number 102 of the Questions, the hip hop game show, the dare I say, best hip hop game show, possibly one of the only ones, although I've been seeing a few of them popping up here and there. But just remember who was doing this stuff first. I'm your host, Sean Kantrowitz at Sean Dammit, and we are live through Questions, episode 102. And tonight's guest is one of my personal favorite MCs. Stylistically, I think he is unparalleled. He is a producer. He has done some screen time, acting. He is a collaborator. He's been involved in so many different projects, and we're going to get into all of it with him. I want you guys to give a warm welcome and show your love to today's guest, Deltron himself, Del the Funky Homosapien. Del, how are you, sir?
I'm cool. Cool. Yeah.
Wonderful to have you. You know, I was just chatting you up a little bit before, and we were talking about, how it's been an interesting year, and everybody's sort of been put in a position to sit on their ass for a little bit and just sort of think. So I wanted to just ask you first and foremost, what have you had any sort of revelations in the last year and a half that we've sort of had our regular lives on pause? Have you had any like self-discovery or anything that seems relevant to you?
Self-discovery, more like I'm just peeping out the world or our world where we are at right here. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, man. Like it's out of control, actually. I mean, me, yeah, I got to sit down and think to myself and like just figure some things out. Yeah, but really what I've been figuring out is, oh wow, this is crazy. I already knew it was getting crazy, but it just started getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Now it's off the chain. So I'm not even gonna talk about it, man. I just try to focus on positive things and still be aware of what's happening, but
Right. Is if we needed any further evidence that the world was crazy, I think we definitely got a confirmation and a reminder in the last 15 months. But we're not going to dwell on that.
Deltron say it all. Really, Deltron really prophesies all this shit.
Hey, listen, if you did not have a moment in the last 15 years where you did not hear that sinister little beat in your head and you heard, I want to compose, I want to make a virus. I was like, man, Del really was talking about this.
Well.
I mean, congrats, but also like, damn, it's some real shit.
But I was watching like anime and stuff like that too, so it wasn't like I just pulled it out of nowhere. I was always into that dystopian type of science fiction anyway, like Mad Max, all that. So
yeah,
you feel me? So like we in Mad Max now. Walk down the street and you'll see the little tents and stuff. Fools even got like microwaves or TVs in there, just like on Mad Max. You feel me? It's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm not even laughing like I'm laughing not to cry, but you feel me? Like it's just toe up.
Yeah, art imitating life.
A lot of people though, so like I'm not complaining like that, but I do care about everybody else too. You feel me?
Of course. Speaking of everybody else, want to shout out everybody who's watching. We got folks on Twitch, YouTube, our Instagram, and Twitter. You guys are all in the house. We appreciate you. We got Del the Funky Homosapien joining us here tonight. And if we have a little time at the end, we might do a little Q&A. So if you guys have some good questions for Del, think them up. But don't embarrass yourselves here because this is the question. So none of those basic ass questions. We got a legend in the house, and we are very happy to have you here, Del. So this is a celebration of you. This is, we're going to talk about you and your career and your position as a fan, because we're all fans of this shit at one point.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
And we also are going to be testing your hip hop trivia knowledge a little bit. So I want to say this to you. We've had your episode 102. So there's a battlefield of former guests who have come before you. We've sort of had two schools of thought. We've had some guests who, if they don't know, they maybe want to call on a lifeline from the chat, and we allow that. And we also have other guests who've been like, nah, you know what? If I don't know, let me do this on myself. We don't judge either way. So I'm just letting you know it's an option. You don't even have to decide right now. But I'm just telling you that if we need it, I can pull some chat, in here as the lifeline, should you choose to accept their help.
Okay, that'd be fun. If I can't figure it out, maybe somebody out there got the answer.
Exactly. Or they might, but they might not also. So that's the other disclaimer I have to put in. You might think that, Carl from Vermont, is a huge fan, but he doesn't know this one. So
oh yeah, I mean that's always the case though. So,
well, are you ready to get into this then, sir?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it. So we're going to get into our first round, and the first round is our general multiple choice round. It is called The Choice Is Yours.
Okay.
So here we go. The first question of the night. Artifact's Wrong Side of the Tracks is dedicated to this element of hip hop. Is it DJing, b-boying, graffiti, or MCing?
This is writing graffiti.
Graffiti, he says, and he should know.
Shout out to my dudes too, you know what I'm saying? Tame One, that's my brother from another too, man. Shout out to Tame One, man, for real.
Yes, shout out to Tame. You guys did an album together, the Parallel Universe.
Yes.
Yep. And obviously, we had Elda Sensei on the show before, and we should get
that's
Tame.
My homie too. Yeah.
What they are absolutely. I'm going to skip around in the timeline here. By the way, we're not doing super linear because again, that shit has been done. It's boring. Artifacts are one of those quintessential mid '90s hip hop groups. And for those with the eagle eye, if they know anything, and they were at the cinema a couple of years back, they might have spotted our very own guest Del in a movie that was sort of about the whole scene of the mid '90s, Jonah Hill's mid '90s film. So we had a couple of people ask about this, and I want to know what was that experience like being in that film, and I just kind of want to know the genesis of that and what it was like in your sort of acting chops on, as it were.
Jonah Hill, he was just a big fan, you feel me? So really it was just an honor for me to just be there, for him to be like, yo, I want Del in my movie. He gotta be in my movie, you know what I'm saying? He was juiced though, you know what I mean? What happened though with the acting part was he had a part for me. It kind of got to the wayside, got shoved around or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I ended up, he was watching me talk to some of the kids out there. And then he just got a bright idea. It was like, yo, come back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do this little part here, but come back tomorrow and we're going to try to do what you did right there. And just kind of like.
Art imitates life. He saw something you were doing and he was like, yo, that's a great moment. We should put that in the film.
I think he just thought it was genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, he really is just hollering at him. Like, okay, that's what I need. I'm guessing that's what he's thinking in his head. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, absolutely. So you're somebody who sort of came of age in the era of the early to mid 90s. Do you find yourself, what is your relationship with nostalgia? Are you somebody who like looks back a lot at the 90s and you're like, oh man, what a time? Or are you kind of more focused on the present and you don't really look back much?
I don't really look back much, but you know what? I don't get romantic about the past. So nostalgia, nah, not really like that. But like as far as education and like just having a good foundation, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm always checking stuff out from the past, going back, reviewing stuff. But I'm more focused on what I could do now. Like I said, I'm not hella romantic or nostalgic about it. Like it was better than any other era. As far as I'm concerned, this era is the best era to me. Because it's the only era, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, like to me, being stuck, there's nothing wrong with having reverence for the past. But as you said it, when you're romantic about things, it's almost like romantic nostalgia almost seems like the cousin of like regret to me. Like when you're just like so fixated on what was, it just doesn't seem fruitful, right? Like that's not going to help
realistic, you know what I'm saying? It's like a fantasy, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to live in a fantasy world. I like to be real about stuff, just so I could deal with things. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get hit blindsided. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. All right, we're going to move on to our second question. Dell's doing great so far. He knocked that Artifacts one right out the park, but we might turn the heat up a little bit as well.
Okay.
All right,
Oh,
record.
one thing. Redman is Redman and Tame is cousins actually.
Yes, that is true. That is true. So another Jersey connect there. And Redman also was a DJ early on for Do It All from Lords of the Underground. So there's like a lot of cross pollination, as it were.
So when he said I DJ like Quick, he really meant like he DJ like Quick. Like that wasn't he didn't just say that just because DJ Quick was a famous person. He said it because he really meant I DJ like Quick.
Absolutely, man. See, this is I love having these moments where we can just sort of nerd out on shit like that for sure. All right, we're gonna move on to our second question. Yeah. Record label A&R Dante Ross played a part in signing all of these hip hop acts except for one of them. Was it Brand Nubian, Slum Village, Old Dirty Bastard, or Busta Rhymes? Who did he not sort of have a hand in signing and developing?
Slum Village.
He says Slum Village. Let's see if he's right, folks. I think he should know. Slum Village is correct. Dante Ross. So I have another show called Can't Knock the Shuffle, and it's a podcast. And this week I had Dante Ross on the show.
Okay. And that's my homie. That's the homie. That's the big bro. For real.
You're echoing exactly what he said about you, because we did talk about his involvement in the early stages of your career. Your first album, I Wish My Brother George Was Here, as well as the second album, No Need for Alarm. And, again, we're sort of talking about all these eras and chapters here. When you were making the transition from the first album to the second album, what was sort of on your mind? Because anybody who's a fan, and we've all heard these records many times, that was like a real stylistic change. And I just always am curious in talking to people, like, did you feel nervous at all, like, or did you feel very confident about, like, yo, I'm gonna do me at this time?
I was kind of nervous because I had a lot of like complexes, I guess, going on at the time. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I had to prove myself because a lot of people was like, where I was from, like a lot of people that were like heads, like super duper rap nerds, they was like trying to diss me for my first album, like saying it was like commercial or something, you know what I mean? And that made me feel hella bad because I'm like, what's wrong with Parliament? You know what I'm saying? Parliament the shit, you feel me? But they took it like I was trying to rap over what gangsters rap over. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it seems silly now, but like at the time that really affected me. So that was in my head, like I just felt like I had a lot to prove. Sophia Chang, though, she worked at Jive. You know what I mean? Zamba, yeah, Jive Zamba. She signed Souls of Mischief and Casual, right?
Yeah.
So she helped out a lot with me. You know what I mean? Like she gave me a lot of confidence because she heard my shit and was like, yo, this shit is like, this is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should go with this. So I didn't have a lot of people around me that I could really like, trust like that. But I could trust her because she was always like, she upped me on Redman shit. Like, she had Redman shit. She had Foostic shit. She had DOS Effect shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, okay. She knows what she's talking about. You feel me?
It's so interesting.
That gave me the edge. Yeah. Dante hella supported too, though. Yeah, for sure.
It's just so interesting because at the time, 90s West Coast hip hop on a way like bird's eye view for like people who maybe were only casually like tapped in, the gangster sound was like the G-Funk gangster sound like was the calling card. So it's ironic that like you who were like you had a much more complex identity that you would almost get shit on for that, it's just ironic to me, you know what I mean? Because like you obviously contain multitudes, but like they were like, oh man, like you're not, like you were doing what everybody was doing at the time, and it was still a dope, potent sound. You know what I mean?
That's like one of my favorite albums that I recorded, and definitely one of the best experiences recording a record that I ever had. Like I had hella fun recording that album. You feel me? DJ Pooh was a straight mentor. He was like just all the knowledge and game I was soaking up from him every day. You feel me? Like it was just a good time for me. and being around all the bros, you feel me? The lynch mob, all that is just hella fun. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. All right, we're gonna move on to our third
Oh, and
question.
George Clinton was on it. I
Oh,
can't forget that.
how can we forget?
That
How
was
can
so
we forget George?
miraculous to me. I was like, wow. When Q was like, hey, you wanted me to get George Clinton on here? I was like, you could do that? Yeah, I could get them, the Brides of Funkenstein. You want me? I was like, okay. Next thing you know, Brides of Funkenstein and fucking Clinton is on my shit. You feel me? That was a big, big, big influence for me.
Yeah, I mean, you've been like a torchbearer for. I mean, you have the word funk in your name, like literally. So like, I've always considered you and so many other West Coast artists sort of like carrying a lot of that Parliament, the P Funk. You know,
Oh,
if not like straight up identity, a lot of the components and you know ingredients in the sound that you've made. So I can only imagine that must have just been surreal, especially on the first album. It's not even like, all right, you know, he's earned his stripes. Like now, like maybe one day you can get like George Clinton. Like George Clinton first album? Come on, bro.
but I mean, he based that, Q based that off of me and what I was into. You
Yeah.
feel me? And he was into it too, so that was just natural. You feel me to go with the P Funk. But the second album, though, I just felt like, okay, let me show fools I really got some hip hop chops. They think I'm just this is all the only thing I can do or something. Like that wasn't what I usually was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, it was an exercise in a style, and then you've been great at that. You know, that's I was remarking earlier that like you know you contain so many styles, and you have sort of effortlessly shifted between all those. So for me, you know, and for so many others, I think when we heard it, it was like, oh, this is just another like crazy angle that this like artist is able to take. You know, so I was never mad at that.
Yeah, I guess you wasn't closed minded then. Like a lot of fans are like just it got to be just like this, you know what I'm saying? And if it's outside of that, I don't. As long as it's good music, I'm like the average person out here. If it's good, I don't care what genre it is. You feel me?
Yeah, and I would even say I think that time has been kind to both of those records. That if a lot of people might have not been open to No Need for Alarm at the time, I think that you know that record has aged well in a way that I'd be surprised if people didn't come around to that and be like, oh, you know what, it wasn't what I was looking for, but like he's spitting his ass off. The production is like super on point. It maintained is what I'm trying to say. You know.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, of course. All right, here we go. Question number 3. In the mid aughts, Outcast's Andre 3000 created and starred in an animated kid show called Class of 3000 for this network. Was it Adult Swim, BET, Cartoon Network, or MTV2?
Oh, that's a good question. Ooh. Which one was it? Damn. A lightweight want to say Cartoon Network, but I don't remember. All right, I'll just say Cartoon Network.
I always say it's a good idea to go with your gut on these things. We instinctually know some of these things. So he says Cartoon Network, and it's great that he did because that is the answer.
Okay.
Cartoon
I'm like
Network.
BET. I'm like, I don't remember BET being that clean where they would just have that. And then I'm like, MTV. Nah, that don't seem like it'd be on there. Adult Swim, I'm like, no, because I remember watching it and it wasn't like no
It was a
Adult
kid show.
Swim. Yeah, you feel me?
Yep.
That was
Um,
great though. Shout out to Andre 3000, man. He the partner too, man. Both outcasts, man. Big Boy and Andre, man.
so I got to ask you this, and I wasn't even going to mention this, but now it just made me think of this. It in a respectful way, Outkast seemed to definitely get a lot of stylistic influence from the Bay Area. Would you agree or disagree on that?
I would agree, but I don't think they got it from us like that more than we had certain attributes or we had certain qualities that were similar that we related to each other on. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I see it
Well,
more like that because that's why I liked Outkast because you know what I'm saying. I wasn't hella familiar with music out there, but when I seen them, I was like, okay, I fool with that. You know what I'm saying? They clean. You know, they just because of some of the things, the way they dress, the way they rap. You know what I'm saying? The way they kind of bounce around. They had a little bit of playeristic type of flavor to them. You know what I'm saying? All that was They remind me of somebody from Oakland, sort of. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Yeah, man. I just felt them. You know.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
that goes for anybody I liked though. Like Redman was the same way. Like I don't think Redman got nothing from me necessarily, or I got nothing from him like that. But just the characteristics I could relate. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. And I think with all these artists too, there was definitely like a George Clinton funk sort of like undertone to all those.
Oh,
If I think
yeah.
about especially the early records for you, for Redman, for Outkast, and then especially what they did even later where they were really wearing those influences on their sleeves. It was definitely the funk, for lack of a better word.
If you think about it though, George Clinton was one of the only dudes that wasn't tripping off sampling.
Right.
You know what
He
I'm saying?
was
He actually
encouraging
was
it.
like, I get it. I get what it is. He wasn't like the other older dudes trying to clown and stuff. So like, he got to stay around a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh no, no, Uncle George, you gotta come kick it. Hell no, boy, you gotta come over here. You feel me? So like,
Yes.
yeah. So George Clinton, man, he was the dude. He did so much, man. Big
So
influence on a lot of stuff. Like if you think Atomic Dog, dude, Atomic Dog was like a prototype to some of the hip hop coming out. You know what I'm saying? I
100%.
mean, yeah. Hey, Kitty. Oh yeah,
We got a kitty cameo.
I got a little dusty. Yeah, yeah. I got a cat out here.
I had to lock mine out of the room, otherwise he tries to bogart the whole show. So
Mhm.
shout out to all the cats watching or in the vicinity. We see you and appreciate
Yeah.
you. Dell also speaks cat, some feline linguistics as well.
I'm a Leo, so.
Oh, there you go. So we're speaking about Cartoon Network. You had a resurgence in your career. Damn, it's a. I don't want to even say the years now because it feels like time is slipping by. But you sort of got reintroduced to a whole new audience through the Gorillaz and your experience with that. How was that experience for you? And did it ever get to a point where you felt like, oh, like am I gonna like go in a completely different direction now? Because like Clint Eastwood was a huge hit. That Gorillaz album was a huge hit. Like I'm just always curious about what that's like to experience a sort of unexpected surge, into your career. Because at that point you were like pretty much, I think, like a decade at least into your career, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. What was your experience on that? Was it like did it feel like really like rewarding, or was it strange? Like what was the whole Gorillas experience for you?
Well, the first time I even noticed that it was like really all that was like I was walking on the block out here and some cats ran up on me. It was like, "You Dale, huh?" I was like, "Yep, yep, what's happening?" They was like, "Hey man, I like your new song you got on the radio." And I'm like, "What new song?" They're like, your new song that you got on the radio. It's tight." I'm like, "New new song on the radio? What is you talking about?" They start laughing.
Huh.
And they're like, he don't even know what his new song is on the radio. They play it like all day, every day. You don't know what it is? I'm like, all day, every day. What is you talking about? It's called something like Gorillas, something. I'm like, nah, you can't be serious.
So
They're like,
wait, did
yeah,
did you
man.
know did you know that they were even like considering it to be the single, or did you just do it and you're like, oh, this might be on the album, like whatever,
I mean, I knew it was gonna be on the album because it was basically I did like a cleanup job, basically.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Dan had some other rappers on the song and he didn't like them. So he had me do the song over basically with some new lyrics. You feel me? He
Yeah.
figured he figured I could do it in like 30 minutes or so. So he was like, just write up something real quick. And I'm like, all right, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was not to say that I wasn't with the project. Like I thought it was dope. Like the characters was super fresh to me. Like the artwork was really one big reason why I was into it so much.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I thought the music was fire too though. But the cartooning I really thought was dope because that's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? At first, before I started rapping and stuff. I was originally.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah.
like, but nobody went into it thinking that it was gonna blow up like that though. It was all just everybody appreciated each other for what they did, and that's why they even did it. And then it started getting popular, I guess, in Europe, And then like, out here they started. Some people heard about it. You know what I mean? And I guess they thought they was hip or whatever, knowing about it. And then it started getting popular over here. And
Yeah.
that's just how it went. As far as the popularity and stuff, like I take it with a grain of salt. I'll be telling people all the time, like, okay, that's cool, but like, don't think that that's what I usually be doing and be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Right.
letting you know now, like that's not usually what I'll be doing.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it doesn't encapsulate everything, but it didn't feel like a crazy wild left turn. It's not like anybody would hear it and be like, "Oh, Dell did this to get a check" or anything like that. Like
Oh yeah,
it sounds like you.
it's still me, but like I'm just saying, like, it might be a little more rougher around the edges or be like, what I'm saying? I don't want you to be shocked you listen to this. And then it's like, hey, he said, oh, whoa, whoa. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't watch it like I did on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to move on to our next question. We're going to keep it moving. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. We got people all over the place. And yeah, Twitch. Yeah, I mean, I imagine you must. A lot of people just came to Twitch recently, but as a gamer, I feel like you probably were up on Twitch for a minute, right?
Oh yeah, I was up on Get Switch from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But that's due to Caustic, my dude Caustic. You know what I'm saying? He battles with King of the Dot and shit. You feel me? So he really put me up on it. So he was like, "Man, Dell, you got to come over to Twitch, man. You'd be perfect."
Yeah.
So we tried something a few times. I need to get back on it. I just need to learn how to use what's this
OBS, Streamlabs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Streamlabs. I just got to figure out how to use it a little bit better, and then I'm.
We all a lot of us learned under the gun in this last year. As we all sort of was like, all right, Twitch is where we got to go. Let's figure this out. You know?
Hey, they got a lot of viewers. What is like 2 billion every month?
It's out of control. I mean, and I'm not a huge gamer, and on top of that, I don't truly understand the appeal of watching other people play video games. But I know it's a thing because the numbers prove it. But I just personally don't understand it per se. You know?
Yeah, you gotta work. You gotta really work the sticks to really understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you at the house and somebody's sitting there with you, your partner, he might not be playing. It's just you playing. But he'll be like co-piloting. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you got to do this. Oh, you didn't know you could do this? Or he'll see some stuff that you didn't see.
Right.
So like there is something to get out of watching somebody else play. Sometimes you don't want to play, but you still want to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally get that. All right, we're going to move on to the final question in our first round. Wu-Tang's iconic W logo was first drawn by this Wu figure. Was it Method Man, Mathematics, RZA, or Jizza? Who first drew the Wu-Tang logo?
God, don't beat me up for not Jizza, maybe.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with Jizza.
You're gonna go with Jizza. Let's see what the answer is. I'm gonna pull it up here. The answer was Mathematics. The producer.
I said that was in my mind too. Something was telling me it was Mathematics because I remember off the cuff somebody saying that before. Okay.
Listen, it's fine. You know, there's no failures here. This is now just a piece of information that now you'll know when the next hip hop trivia game show that you go on, you're gonna be like,
I'm just saying though, I really was in my mind. Like I kind of remember something. Well, let me just say Jizza because he's a genius. You know,
he is a genius, but maybe not the artistic genius that Mathematics is. But is it true that you designed the Hiero logo? That you drew that?
Yes, I did.
So how many iterations of that, like, or let me ask you this, how long were you drawing that classic, like all respect to the Wu-Tang, but let me just be clear. If the Hieroglyphics logo is not the best logo in hip hop, it's damn near close. It's tied up there in my book. So I want to know for how many years were you drawing that iconic little doodle in like notebooks?
Before I like used it as Hiero?
Right, exactly.
I think I made it up like right around the time I was getting signed, I think.
Wow.
I just drew it. I mean, I really was visual. My father is a visual artist. My father is an abstract artist. So I was putting like at an early age, I was putting art schools and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I got the training. You know what I mean? Like I know what I'm doing. You feel me? So it wasn't hard. I just thought like, let me take something simple because I was into graphic design too. Like I like commercial, good, clean, like designs.
Yeah.
So that's how I came up with that. But off the happy, like be happy symbol from the like 70s, 60s, you know what I'm saying? The happy face,
Yeah,
the yellow happy.
the yellow classic, yeah, happy face.
I just changed the face a little bit, you know what I'm saying, to represent what I was thinking about. You feel me? But the
It's
same type of simple concept though.
it's simple, it's immediately identifiable. Like it's easy to say this in hindsight and retrospect, but it's like it's the type of thing that people could easily want to get tattooed on them. And people have done that. Like that's I don't know if that's the type of thing that you're thinking about when you're just doodling a sketch like
I
that, but it's
was.
you
Yeah,
were.
because I was into like rock groups, you know what I'm saying? Like Black Flag. I still kind of want to get a Black Flag tattoo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, nothing, because that's what I was into. That's what I kind of wanted to do. Well, I was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna have to do something to make money. So I like, I like graphic design. I could get into that. You make money at that, and I wouldn't be mad. You know what I'm saying? Even though that probably wouldn't be the real art that I was trying to do, but I
Right.
wouldn't be mad at that. You feel me? So
It,
yeah, I definitely was thinking about all those potential things. You know what I'm saying? The pros and the cons. Yeah, I definitely thought about that.
mission accomplished. So it's fitting now because we're going to move into our second round.
But
It's all about
before
artwork.
but
What?
before you do that, I just want to
Yeah.
give a shout to my dude Intel. You know what I'm saying? Because he's down with the Wu too. You know what I'm saying? He's the younger generation though. You feel me? So I just
Okay.
wanted to give a shout out to him. I just did a little something with him on a project he came out with. So just look for Intel, man.
He's an MC.
Yes, he's an MC. Yep.
All right. Shout out Intel Wu Tang affiliate, and we'll be looking for that. So we're talking about art, and the second round that we're entering now is called Picasso Baby, and this is all about art.
Okay.
So in this round, I'm going to show you a small piece of an album. And you have to identify what the album is by the little piece of it that you see. So let's get into it.
Okay.
What album is this? Is it Big
Ice
Noise?
Cube,
Oh,
Kill
he's
Bill.
hopping right into it. It's a family affair. Ice Cube, Kill It Will.
I mean, I just recognized that gun being held out like that. Like, okay.
I know you've talked about a lot in the past, and even earlier in this interview, how Cube was sort of a guiding hand, and obviously, cosigns in hip hop are such a big, part of how a lot of artists got put on. So, he was definitely a prominent figure earlier in your career. What, I've always wondered this, and as much as you want to reveal, do you guys keep in contact much in recent years? Like, how has your relationship changed, or was that just a moment in time and like you drifted apart?
I see him every now and then, you know what I'm saying? Or I holler at him every now and then. You know what I mean? He a busy person, so
Yes.
sometimes I try to holler at him and it seemed like he ain't really for the small talk. You feel me? Like, but no, it's still cool though. That's the big cuz. You feel me? So it's still cool. But I don't talk to him hella often though.
Sure.
If I needed to reach out and holler at him, I could. I'm sure. You know what I'm saying. But I don't think he'd be much for just the chitter chatter like that. You know what I'm saying. So I just let him
Right.
do whatever he's doing.
Right. And you've been able to establish your own identity in your own career where it's not like, you're not in the same place that you were at, when you were first coming out. Like at this point, everybody's a grown man. Like you guys
Oh
are,
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't be chasing after him for no handout or nothing. No way. You feel me?
yeah,
Like that's my
totally.
cousin. So like, why burden him with? Oh, come on, man. Can you come? He already did that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he got to
Absolutely.
do he at this point he got to do what he need to do to keep his boat afloat his damn self. So I mean, that's just life. So I would
Totally.
if I came at him, I'd come at him with like, oh, I got this idea that we could bounce and flip like this. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
like a mutual thing that we both could benefit from. But me
Build
just
it together.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But just dragging on his coattails, I feel like he had enough of that. You know what I'm
Totally. Yeah.
saying?
All right. That's cool. We're going to move on to our second question. Which album is this? Is it the High School High soundtrack, Schoolie D, Welcome to America, Casual, He Think He Raw, or KRS-One, Chris Styles?
Casually think he raw.
Casual, He Think He Raw.
Yep.
It is correct.
Smash
Casuals.
Rockwell.
Smash Rockwell, exactly.
Hell
I have a question. What is your favorite Hyro or Hyro affiliate album that is not your own?
That's probably one of them right there.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's a great one. A lot of people I don't even think know that beat that I just played, and it was one of the songs on there is like a kind of hella early Alchemist joint as well.
Hmm.
I got to get down. Um, but yeah, so Casual He Think He Raw is probably one of your favorites then.
That's definitely one of them. Anything out of Cash collection, definitely. Soul's first one, I hella like. I even like their second one, hella. You know what I'm saying?
Super underrated. Super
Hmm.
underrated.
I
Yep.
mean, but for the most part, I like pretty much everything. But like the first ones we came out with, I think from them, I hella hold in a. You know what? Opio's solo albums too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his solo albums super fire to me too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean everybody in the camp is obviously, you know, I don't
Everybody
have.
got talent, you know what I'm saying? Pep too, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the newer stuff Pep been coming out with, I hella be feeling too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it's amazing. Nobody has to be explained that. All right, here we go. Third album in this round.
Ooh, you tried to.
What album is this? Is it Redman? What the album? LP, Fantastic Damage, AC Alone, Magnificent City, or is it Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon, The End of Day?
You tried to fuck me up with that one.
We Adele, we gotta turn the heat up, as we go. But look, I'm waiting to see if the chat has anything to say about this too. We can lean on the chat if you want to see what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
let's see what the chat got to say, man.
All
'Cause
right, let's see what they have to say. I'm gonna bring it on screen. We got Rubik's Uno is saying that it's LP.
that's
Let's
what
see
I
what.
was thinking, yeah.
Okay,
That's what I
let's see what
was
else people are
thinking, yeah.
saying. We got Ayana on YouTube. She's saying it's B LP. So we got some votes for LP. Paddington for I think it's B too.
Mhm.
So we're getting
That
an LP
graffiti is
consensus.
kind of making me think, like, you feel me? It's
So
looking too clean to just be, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, so we're thinking LP then.
I think it's LP.
Let's see. LP's Fantastic Damage.
That's a clean ass album cover too. I'm just now recognizing, like, damn, that shit was hella clean.
Yeah, and sometimes when you zoom in on these things, you're really able to appreciate some of the details on there for sure.
LP is
Um,
my dude too, man. Shout out to LP, man, for real, for real.
yep,
That's one
yeah,
of the super homies, man. I always had hella respect for LP, and you know what I'm saying, just his whole wave,
yep, absolutely. And
comedy flow. You know what I'm saying. Even Big Just, man, I fuck with Big Just too, man.
and now too, like for anybody who followed his career, and he's always been dope. And he's having his Gorillaz moment at this point. Like he's with the Run the Jewels project. Like talk about like you got to just be so happy to see somebody like really get their moment to shine on a bigger platform.
But see, I always thought he had that potential because I could peep. He had them rock roots. You know what I'm saying, which I thought was dope. That he was able to he's seen the connection between that and electronic music and hip hop, and then came up with his own shit. You know what I'm saying? And he did that early on with the cold flow shit. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I just always hella believed in what he could do. You know what I'm saying? Especially when he came out with that one, the Johnny Escape from the Hospital or whatever, that one instrumental
Yeah, Little
album.
Johnny, Little Johnny, the second Cold
Yeah.
Flow record. Yep.
When he let me peep that, I was like, okay, this is stupid, dude. Like that's when I knew, like, okay, he much more than just in the hip hop realm. He could do more.
Yeah. So it's been super dope to watch. Um, he's a producer. You're a producer. We're gonna enter into our third round. It's called Digging in the Crates.
Okay.
So this is our sample round. This is all about samples. So I'm going to play you a sample and ask you a question about it. Dell, you're doing great so far. You killed the visual round as we thought you would. You've got an eye. The man, again, just to reiterate, and I saw some people in the chat on Twitch and YouTube earlier. They didn't even know that you did the Hyro logo. So I
Oh
mean,
wow. Okay.
yeah, it's just recognize the talent here that we have on our show tonight. All right, here we go. Filipino singer Celeste Legaspi's Bolero Medley was sampled on a single from this artist's debut album. So I'm going to play you the sample, and you tell me who sampled this. The choices are Camp Lo, Common, E-Don, and Lupe Fiasco. Here we go. Was it Camp Lo?
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Okay. Wait, can you hear this?
I'll hear it. You hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you. You're not hearing. Are you not hearing music?
Nope.
Oh, well then let me make sure that this is here we go. That's a good catch. I've been doing little music cues and little
Shout
technical
out to the Filipino homies, man. Real.
That would have been like the crazy like if I just made you guess and you couldn't like even listen to it, right? You'd be like,
I damn near want to guess, but like I need to hear it though to really.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair. All right, we fixed that. Thank you guys. All right, here we go. Let me just make sure that this is set. Appreciate everybody's patience here. Okay. Now you should be able to hear it. This is the sample. Are you hearing it?
Yep.
So who sampled that?
Hold up, play it again. Play it.
All right, I'll play it again.
I'm feeling like it's okay. Play it.
I'm playing it again. I'm playing it again. Here we go.
Lupe.
Say it again.
Lupe.
He says Lupe. Let's see if he's right, folks.
So we kick, push, coast.
Lupe
I had to hear it because he kind of bounced and flipped it a little bit.
Yep. He bounced it. He chopped it up a little bit. Shifted the things around.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, I'm glad we were able to get the audio in there. That would have derailed this.
I was about to say Camp Lo too, so I was like, nah, let me hear it.
No, listen, I would never force you to guess without hearing it in the sample round. That would just be unfair. All right, here we go.
Man. Shout out to Lupe too, man. He's super duper cool too.
Yeah. And a skateboarder kind of came in on the skateboard tip, and that was something that you were definitely on as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I still skate around.
Yep. All right, we're going to move on to the penultimate question. Thief theme from the Sega game Golden Axe was sampled on a 1998 Jay-Z single that featured this artist. So I'm going to play you the sample.
Okay.
You're going to have to tell me what artist was featured on this Jay-Z sampling song. Here it is. Was it DMX, Lil Kim, Memphis Bleak, or Too Short?
I'm trying to remember.
I'll play the sample again.
I think it was the dog. I want to say the dog. I want to say DMX.
All right. Final answer.
Oh, yeah. DMX, yeah.
Money, cash, shows, money, cash, shows.
DMX
yes,
is correct.
What?
What? Yeah, shout out DMX. Rest in peace. An incredible talent.
Hell yeah.
And video games.
I never knew that was that though. I never knew that was that.
I just recently learned it. I always thought it was a keyboard because Swiss Beats was a big keyboard guy.
Well, he was hard for that. I wish I would have known back then. I would have been going stupid. Like, oh my God.
I'm gonna play it again just so everybody can hear this again.
I remember playing the game so much.
Money.
That's when the little L's be coming out. We used to fuck them L's up too, like bah, 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 bah. They be making the little juices pop out of them. Hell yeah, that's giggity. Yeah, that's how we're playing, dude.
Yep. All right, we're moving into the final question in our sample round. Childish Gambino's Redbone contains elements of a song by this Parliament Funkadelic offshoot group. Is it the Horny Horns, Bootsy's Rubber Band, the Brides of Funkenstein, or Mutiny? I'll play you the Childish Gambino song. You tell me what it is sort of an interpolation of.
All right, now, Bootsy.
Bootsy, he says.
I studied Bootsy, man. Like, literally studied Bootsy.
Yeah?
Like, literally. Like, I'm talking about on line paper, on staff paper. Literally studied Bootsy and funk. So, yeah, I knew that as soon as I heard it.
Yeah, he. I don't know if when they came out, they originally credited the Bootsy song or not when the Gambino, but
hey, they might have had the wiggle. You feel me?
they might have gotten the Marvin Gaye Blurred Lines treatment.
I was just reading about, just seeing on YouTube or something. You know what I'm saying? They was talking about that's so stupid. Like, suing somebody, like, okay, so what do you think you could sue people for? Well, apparently fools think they can sue you for anything. You know what I'm saying?
Influence. Yeah, it's like,
I ain't even gonna go there, man, because it's so dirty. But now, yeah, definitely Bootsy is one of them super. When Bootsy came out, he was like the new funk. Like, oh my God, this is the new funk. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like that new wave. And yeah, that album right there. Look at how he looked. Just driving out of the clouds on a motorcycle, like, hey, baby. Like, from here, you feel out of a dream or something. That's clowning, actually.
Yeah. It's, I mean, such a rich, like, for anybody watching, and like, the one common thing that we have in our audience and in our demographic is we all love hip hop. But I implore you, and just as Del said he did, like, study this music, like, dive deep, because especially if you haven't really taken the deep dive into like the P-Funk crates, there are scores of treasure troves for you to discover. They're not a one album and done, group. There's so much for you to discover, from samples to just, inspiration and musicianship. It's incredible.
Yeah, if you go back and just listen to like some of the music from before, I don't want to say that it was better necessarily, because there's a lot of music that come out now that I think is great. You feel me? That what couldn't have been made back then. But people were very inventive. Like, you will be amazed at what some of the shit you hear and be thinking like, damn, they made this back then?
Right.
Like, you'll just be tripping like, wow, this is crazy. They made this back then? This is old? Like, how? Like, you'll be amazed.
So for you, let's just say somebody's watching this right now and they're like, man, like, I've heard some of the songs. I obviously know who George Clinton is. What is the starter? What is that? Where should they start to sort of get into the P-Funk? What would you recommend as the album to sort of kick them off?
Man, I would say that one right there. Anything from Bootsy, but that one right there is nice, is grounded enough. It ain't hella all over the place wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got a steady groove to it, but it's wild too. Like, it's crazy enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one to start with right there. I think them choruses and them little chants they be having too, sounding like cartoon characters. Like, yeah, it'll probably be appealing. Yeah.
Totally. All right, Del, we have reached our final round, and the final round is called Time's Up. So this is our speed round. This is how this is going to go. You're going to have 90 seconds to answer 5 questions in the category of your choice. And here are our categories for tonight. Where were you in 2002? These are all questions about 2002. Mm-hmm. Hip hop concept albums. These are questions about concept albums in hip hop. And the third category is called Third Album Vision. These are questions about artists' third albums. So you pick the round to answer in.
Okay, hip hop concept albums.
Okay, he's going hip hop concept albums. So let me just go over the rules here for you. You're going to have 90 seconds to answer 5 questions. They are not multiple choice. If you don't know the answer, you can say pass and we can come back to it. But if you answer incorrectly, that question is done. So, just something to be aware of. If you need help from the chat, just say, yo, I need the chat, and I'll bring them in. I'll let you know what they're saying. So, this is where, it gets a little intense. You've been doing good, but, I think this is going to be fun, but I'm just, letting you know that this is, we're now welcome to the Terror Dome, as it were.
Okay.
I have OC's time's up here, and it is time to 90 seconds. So when we stop hearing that beat, your time is up. So we're doing hip hop concept albums. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. 90 seconds on the clock. Hip hop concept albums with Del the Funky Homosapien. What was the name of MF Doom's alias on the 2003 Take Me to Your Leader album?
King Ghidra.
That is correct. Black Trash, the autobiography of Kirk Jones, is a hip hop concept album by this New York rapper.
Sticky Fingers.
That is correct. AC Alone created his 1998 album, A Book of Human Language, in collaboration with this producer.
Help from the chat.
All right, help from the chat. Guys, it's a little dry right now. We're going to come back to it. We'll skip it and we'll come back. What was the name of the girl who is Kendrick Lamar's love interest on the Good Kid, Mad City album?
Oh, my God. I don't remember. Damn, I need help from the chat.
We'll pass. Okay, so we got some people, they're saying for the AC Alone, they're saying Mumbles. So we'll go with that. Mumbles is the answer they're giving. And finally, this MC played the lead role on Prince Paul's A Prince Among Thieves album.
Breezley Brew.
Yep, Breezley Bruin is correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay, so this is the last question. We got to go back to this one. What was the name of the girl on the Good Kid, Mad City album? Kendrick Lamar was going to her crib.
I need help from the chat.
Help from the chat. Guys, do you know the answer? Help them out. We got 5 seconds left. We have not gotten anything from the chat. Del.
Yeah.
I want to congratulate you, first of all, because you did pretty well in that speed round. The answer that we didn't get was Shireen. Shireen was the name of the girl on the Good Kid, Mad City album. I'm totaling up your score here, but I want you to know, no matter what happens, you are a champion in our eyes. Really quick, while I total up your score, I have a question for you. We always like to ask people who have been on the show, who would you recommend come on the show next? Who's an artist or a DJ or a producer that you think we should get on the show?
Let me think for a second. Redman.
Whew, Redman. Yeah, we'd love to get him.
Yeah,
and
probably ain't hard.
What's that?
It probably ain't hard. He'd probably be down to do it.
Yeah, we've had some talks with him. So Del, I think we're going to make it happen with him soon too. So Del, I told up your score. You had 15 questions and you got 13 out of 15 right. Now let me tell you who is in the 13 club with you. These are previous guests who have scored 13. And I want you to feel good about this. You got 2 wrong, but listen to the company that you're with right here in the 13 club. We got your boy Dante Ross, scored 13 out of 15. Questlove from The Roots, Jake One, Open Mike Eagle, Just Blaze, Teray, Mike Geronimo, Nature, Paul Stewart, Big Les from BET, Rap City.
I mean, about her the other day. Actually.
Yeah, I'm saying this to you so you understand that like you are in great company in the 13 club. So I'm
not surprised though that you said them names. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Do we have time maybe for like 5 minutes and we can take some questions from the chat?
Oh yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it. Actually, we have a few that people submitted online earlier, so I'm going to pull up some of these. Let's see. The first question we have is from one of our followers on Instagram, and Cut Shallow, and he asks, the depth of the detail and world building on 3030 remains mind-blowing. Were there ever any plans to adapt the Deltron 3030 album into a TV show or a video game? Like, did you ever consider that?
Oh yeah, we was trying to work on like a TV series or something like not too long ago. So
really?
Yeah, so it's still floating around, like, but it would have to go to that at this point because I think we done did enough that I want to do rap wise.
Sure.
You know, because I'm not into just running stuff into the ground. Just keep on milking it till people sick of it. Like I'm like, you want more to go listen to them other albums. But I think it got enough there to be taken to another level, like other media. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And, you know, like that, the TV development grind can take time. So, you know, like that's something that definitely can happen. And I know we would all be looking for that in the future. We have a question from Questlove. He asks, why did you actually drop your home address on Cube's Turn Off the Radio in the lyric, hey, this is DEL from 3838 Twin Oaks? What's the story behind that?
I love Questlove, man. He's a partner. Okay. Really, because I was supposed to be on the radio. So, you know, when you call in, you say all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I said all the stuff that, you know what I'm saying? Cube asked me to act like I was calling into the radio, and that's what you say. You know what I mean?
But was that your actual address?
Yeah, that was my actual address.
Okay.
And people was like, man, that's really... Like, people thought I was lying when I said that Cube was my cousin or whatever. I'm like, whatever, dude. I don't have no reason to lie to you. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Then when they heard that, they was like, he really is Cube cousin.
Oh boy. There's a second part to Questlove's question, because if you know anything about Questlove, it's that he has mad questions. He says, tell the Biggie Rasputin's record store story, or was it an Amoeba record store? Is there a Biggie story?
I'm glad he asked that. How do you know about that? Okay.
I don't know.
When I was I wasn't working there. Wait a minute. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I think I was working at a Leopold's. I was working at Leopold's, right? And Biggie came through for an autograph signing. And I seen them there basically. It was like, yo, what's happening? He's like, Dale, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? I knew about Biggie from what was that movie called? That Ed Lover and Dr. Dre made? Not Dr. Dre.
Who's the man? Who's the man?
Yeah. I was in that movie, so Biggie had a single on there, Party and Bullshit.
Yeah, his first single.
Yeah. So I already knew Biggie from then. So I guess Biggie kind of knew about me too. You know what I'm saying? But he was super cool. He was super, not thinking that he wouldn't be super cool, but he was dumb cool. That's what I remember about it. You know what I'm saying? I was just working there though.
You know, it's funny for so many, you know, Biggie, for a lot of people, even though he was super lyrical, he also made a lot of like obviously commercial music. But I hear a lot of stories from other artists who encountered Biggie, and he was always super cool to them. Like he was a fan of the music, even, you know, as he became like this, you know, superstar. He was super into respecting and giving credit to all the dope lyricists like yourself. So that's
how he started out though. Like, I mean, you know, if you trip off of it, it was really Puff that kind of was like nudging him over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But, you know, Biggie, if you listen, especially some of the joints that he didn't even come out with, that's floating around. You feel me? Like Puff was like, nah, it's too, nah, nothing against Puff, but you know you was doing that, Puff.
Yeah, he was looking at the commercial master plan, and you know. Puff was
the bottom line.
The bottom line. That's that bad boy bottom line. We got another question from the Buddhist Punk, who asks, will you ever team up with Gorillaz again? The world could use the spirit Del to give us some wisdom. Is that something that you feel open to, or is it similar to the Deltron thing where you feel like, I did that, I don't want to necessarily, you know, repeat myself?
You know, I can't help but say something wise, I guess, in any of my lyrics. I try to be not as deep as possible, you know what I'm saying? But like it still come out. So
you're saying that if people want wisdom, they don't have to wait for a Gorillaz album. That you can get that any day.
Yeah, it depends on what level you want it. You know what I'm saying? Usually, I try to speak in like a street kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can understand what I'm saying. You feel me?
Yeah.
I might be more lyrical or more crazy in other places, but usually I just try to be up front. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. All right, we have, I think, time for like 2 more. So
Okay.
SJ Byrne, I'm terrible at reading. You know, when you see like screen names and you don't know where the spaces are? So you're
Right.
just like, is this SJ Byrne, his alert asks, what's your favorite recent science fiction that you've read or watched?
Whew, let me think about that. My recent favorite. Sorry about that. Man, what's the last one ooh, that's a good ass question. I don't even think I'm trying to think. Has it been anything that I don't
Or
really watch?
maybe that you even revisited or just rethought about, or we could flip this. What's one that you feel like people might be sleeping on? Like you got to read this book or watch this movie or television show. Like if you haven't done that.
Man, URL, you know what I'm saying? RBE, I'll be watching battles, you know what I'm saying? King of the Dot. I'll be stuck on that. You know,
Okay.
Mac Hami new album. I guess that's as science fiction as I could get. You feel me?
All right, we'll take it.
That's what I've been rocking off of. You feel me? I don't watch too much television. You feel me?
Sure. Yeah. All right. I think this is the final question we're going to do. If you had to pick one, which one of your songs do you still always enjoy performing live to this day?
Damn, that's a good question. You know what? I'm kind of over performing. Period. At this point.
But it's been so long. You haven't performed in over a year, right? Like, but
I
you feel
know,
like you're
but
done.
I've been performing my whole life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've never took a break ever. You know what I'm saying? Like every single year gone. Every single year gone.
Right.
Like to the point where I forgot how to even be a human being. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
So do you feel like you learned how to be a human being more maybe this year?
I'm back to kind of like, okay, I could cook for myself. Wash my clothes, you know what I'm saying? All the normal shit that you would be doing, but if you gone all the time in hotels and shit, you never do none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, you know, I'm not gonna pay somebody to cook my food or pay somebody to do my laundry or clean up around here. You feel me? I
Right.
just need to be here long enough to do it myself. I feel like it's got to be a balance. But the way the world is right now too is just so crazy. Like it's just too many people off the chain. People need to calm down before I come out. Or
Yeah.
pay me a good ass amount of money. Like make it worth my while. You feel me? But I'm
100%.
more into making music anyway, you know what I'm saying? Especially instrumental music, like funk or whatever, you know, music that don't even have a label. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So let me ask you that then. Do you feel like there's anything that we should be looking out for in terms of music, whether instrumental or do you have anything kind of cooking up? What can people expect, or do you have anything on the timeline right now?
Oh, definitely. I just did an album with Cool Keith. Cool Keith produced the whole album.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this shit is crazy. Shit is crazy. Fire. Yeah, so that'll be out sooner or later, you know what I'm saying? But that's called Subatomic, right?
Subatomic. Okay.
Yeah, and Cool Keith did the whole album. Little B is on it too. I'm working with some stuff with Little B too. Little B producing some music for me too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's fire too.
That's
Super fire.
amazing.
Yeah, I've been working with Little B a lot actually.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll definitely look for that. Some great, I mean, you are, as we've talked about through this episode, you're definitely somebody who brings out the best in other people in collaborations and also allows yourself to do great in collaborations. So all these things have got me excited. I know everybody else watching is definitely going to check for those.
Man, shout out to Doom too, man. That fucked me up. Him,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
He laid out the whole plot for the MF Doom shit. He told me he told me his whole scheme for it. And it really
Before.
played out the way that he described it. It really played out the way he planned it.
Wow.
I was like, man, he really gave me the formula. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. So like, I just always remember that he just shared all that shit with me.
And he shared this with you before it all went down.
Pretty much, you know what I'm saying? I think he had just got out of jail or something. He was in Atlanta, I think. You know what I'm saying? And he just hit me up and was like, yo, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? We was just chopping it, you know what I'm saying? He sent me some beats too, you know what I'm saying, on cassette. And I swear some of them beats was actually on them special herbs and spices or whatever. Like some of them beats that was on the cassette was actually on them.
Wow.
Boy,
Yeah.
you don't waste nothing, huh?
Nah, he gets the most mileage out of those special herbs for sure.
Yeah,
Crazy mileage. Yeah, so shout out, rest in peace, MF Doom. Yeah, we're all still feeling that. Del, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I speak, for our audience and everybody who's watching this, that you are an incredible contributor. And again, like, just like on a personal tip, your first like 4 or 5 albums, those were the soundtracks to chunks of my life, and like, you have absolutely the most like unique style, and I mean that means a lot. That meant a lot then, and it means even more now. So just have to thank you for all you've contributed to the game, and it does not go unappreciated. So thank you.
damn. Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you on the next go round. Maybe one day when we're all back out and in the world again, once it's safe and we feel everybody's calmed down, we're going to be traveling to other parts of the country and doing these live trivia shows. So maybe we'll see you at one of those at some point.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, guys, follow Del. You guys know where to find him. He's on Del Hyro on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, any other places that we should direct people to check you out?
Just look around. You know what I'm saying? I'll be doing stuff. I'll be around. You feel me?
Just look for him.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Del. We appreciate you again so much. Shout out to Domino for helping to orchestrate this.
Yeah, shout out to Dom, man. Yeah, shout out to Dom for sure.
All right. Thank you so much, Del. Thank you. Peace.
All right, peace, man. Peace, y'all.
Guys, Del the Funky Homosapien, he is our guest on episode 102. And we will be back next week with more hip hop, more trivia, more. We've got so many cool things in the works, even outside of this game, even outside of our live stream show, that I'm excited to tell you all about. If you haven't done so already, go to questionshiphop.com. That's the easy way to tell you guys what to do. Go to questionshiphop.com. You'll find past episodes from our YouTube channel and Twitch channel archived up there. You can follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us. We have a Patreon, and you can sign up for our mailing list as well, so you can always know what is going on. Big, huge shout out to Del the Funky Homosapien. Incredible. Truly, this is like some bucket list shit for me personally. I was, super thrilled to have Del on. He's one of the best in my book. Shout out to everybody watching on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I see a lot of new faces and I see a lot of old faces as well. We appreciate your support. We appreciate everything. And like I said, guys, cool things happening. I can't give you a timeline, but cool things happening in the world of the questions. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you next week. Peace.